Hey, how's it going? Today I'm going to go through merge to sorted lists on Leetcode. This is a easy problem, and I'm not sure if I've done it before. I might have, but Leetcode has said I haven't, which is interesting. But yeah, let's just go into it. I'll just treat it sort of like if I was asked this during an interview, and yeah, let's get right into it. So you are given the heads of two sorted linked lists, list 1 and 2. Merge the two lists into one sorted list. The list should be made by splicing together the nodes of the first two lists. Return the head of the merged linked list. Okay. So if we have two linked lists, we're just going to merge them in a sorted order, so that output comes out like that. Okay, so I guess one way we could do it is I'm thinking we just do a while loop for both of these, and then if it ever comes to a point where, say we only had one inside this node, whichever one is empty, we'll add that to the end of it. Or if they're both empty, then we don't have to add to the end of the linked list that we originally had. So say, for example, if I'm going through my loop, I find the one on my first or list 1, so I'm gonna have that, and then I'll check the head of both linked lists and see which one is less than the other or equal potentially, and then I'll just grab whichever that works. So then we'll grab another one, and then here I'll do another comparison. Then we'll have a 2 and then a 4 if the 3 and the 4 were gone. And I plan on just using the same nodes from the list, and I'll probably just return, let's see, I would have to determine which node is lower between the first two to determine what my head is. Or I mean, another way it could be I create a new list node, and then as we iterate through both of these, I can add to the original list node. That might be an easier approach, because I feel like with how I was trying to do everything in place, kind of makes it a little bit convoluted. So why don't we just create a new linked list? I mean, it's not greatest in terms of space since we're duplicating everything. So I guess maybe this case the interviewer might ask like, oh, can you do it in place? Or maybe it's okay to add like another array. But I guess, yeah, maybe in this case, let's just go with like a more optimal solution. Just so, yeah, it's a little bit more difficult, but I feel like the interview would probably like that more. All right, so in this case, we can do let head equal, so list 1 dot, okay, so list 1 could be undefined as well. So why don't we check for list 1 dot val, oh, actually we could just do this. So the very first case, if list 1 is equal to undefined, return list 2. Because if list 1 is empty, we don't need to do any sort of operation. Same goes for list 2 equaling undefined. Then we can return list 1. And say they're both undefined, then I mean we are returning just an undefined linked list. So I don't think it'll be fine to return the other. Alright, so if they're both undefined, then we'll return the other, and if they're not, Then we can do let head is equal to list1. If list1 is greater than, what if they're both equal? Which one would be our head? We just need to make sure that we're grabbing from list1 first then, I guess. So if list1 is greater than or equal to list2, then head will be equal to list1. Otherwise, we'll take list2 as our head. Is that fine? I feel like I'm kind of complicating it. So if I have the head, actually, let's just create a new list node. Because starting with the head can make it a little bit, or finding what my first list node with this kind of condition can make it a little bit more complicated. So let's do new node, list node. This is just going to be null. I don't need to have any of those. Okay, yeah, so we'll have head. And the idea is this head will, we'll just be adding to it over time, or throughout our while loop. I don't know what this while loop will be yet. And then once we're finished with our while loop, we're going to return the head.next. Because the original node won't have it, and you'll see why I do head.next versus just head. Okay, so let's see. While list1 is not equal to undefined, I think I could probably do while list1. Okay, well, for like what's it called? Readability, list1 undefined, or list2 is not equal to undefined as well. Then we'll continue. And then inside here, if list1 is less than or equal to list2 dot val, I wonder what happens, because this could be null as well, or this could be undefined. So that we'll probably leave a note here. Could be undefined. So I guess in this case, we would want let temp equal new list node, and then we'll add to this. And then at the end of this, we'll do a head next is equal to temp, and then head dot next is, or head is equal to head dot next. So that's to continue the iteration, and I need to determine what I'm going to be doing here. Because, or yeah, it's basically what I want to find. So temp.val will equal list1.val. This would be list2.val. But this condition, I need to check it. So this is like, this is kind of like the structure of what we want to follow, but there are cases that we need to be checking for, because I won't have a value property if I don't have a list1. So let's do if list1 and so as long as list1 exists and this I could do another condition to check for list2.val. So we could do or list2 is equal to undefined. because this would evaluate to, so list 1 exists. If list 2 exists, this is going to be, so let's put parentheses around this one. So this condition is if we have list 1, okay, yeah, so the idea is if we have a list 1 and list1.val is less than or equal to list2.val, we're going to take the list1 val. We also need to make sure we're moving list1 ahead, so let's do list1 is equal to list1.next. And then, yeah, so if that's the case, if it's fine, or if list1 exists, then we'll have that. But we also have this other condition where or list2 is undefined. So if this is true, but this would also, it would try to check this as well. So instead of an and there, we could do an or here. So if list 1 exists and list 2 is undefined, that means we're going to grab list 1. If list 1 doesn't exist and list 2 does exist, this would give us a false. So since this is false, we would go into this one. And say both of them, yeah, so if both of them exist, then that's where we come into this side. I think my logic is correct there. And then now for here, we'll do the same thing we did above, just we need to be progressing list 2 as well. And then, so this is or, so I have an or, so this one will iterate through until both of them are undefined, I'm presuming. Okay, well, let's try to go through the logic. So if I have list 1 is undefined, we return list 2. Otherwise, vice versa. Let head, you're going to do list node. List 1 is not equal to undefined, or while list 1 is not equal to undefined, or the other is not equal to undefined, we have a new list node created. And then our conditions are, if we have list 1, so we, in this is this example, so we have list 1, this is true, so now we're going to check this one. This one ends up being false. Okay, so then we're going to have to check this because this is or, so we're going to do list1.val is less than or equal to list 2, which it is. Then we're going to do temp.val, and then we'll do head.next is equal to temp. Head.next, head is equal to head.next. Now we come into this again. Oh yeah, list 1 is also incremented, so now we'll come into 2. So this comes in, we go list, both of these are, or this one's true, this one's false, so this one evaluates to false. So we come to here, we go list1.val 2 is less than or equal to 1, which is not, so we'll come here. And then say we get to the end of the iteration where we add all of list 1. So list 1 will be list.next. We'll have, this one is undefined, but list 2 is not. Or sorry, list 2, yeah, is not undefined, so this will evaluate to true. Then we come into here, and if list 1 exists, this is undefined, so this is false, so that already is false. Or, and this is an or, so this condition is false, so let's grab list 2. And we know that list 2 has an has something because we checked list 1 here, and this condition is the next thing that we want to evaluate. So because that came out as true, we know that we have something in list 2, so now we have list 2 incremented to the end of it. So once these are both at the undefined, that's where we know we can come back here, and we should return head.next. Let's see. Properties of null. list1.val. Why would that be? Because if list1 is false and list2, this one's also false. So false and false should return evaluate the false. Why would it try to check for list1? Okay. Let's see. I guess let's do some debugging here. So I'm curious what list1 is, list2, and I guess these two conditions. So this one's that. Okay, so we get all the way out, but it errors on, okay, so I have false and true, so that means one will get removed. So this one would be undefined. So one is undefined. That's should evaluate to false, right? Okay, now I should check if false and list2 is equal to undefined. Well, this is false. So does that not evaluate to false? Am I missing something here? Oh, it evaluates the null? Why would, I mean, isn't null equal to false? Oh, null does not evaluate the false. Okay, so that is a hiccup in the logic. All right, let's see. So I guess I have to check for this too then. So it's not equal to undefined. So this one is not equal to undefined. Maybe that's what I needed. So what am I looking for? This is if list1 exists and list2 exists, then I want to do list check. Otherwise, or list2 is equal to undefined. If list2 is undefined, then that means list1 should be, when list1 should have something. If list1 is undefined, this will fail right here. That will come out as false, and this will come out as false as well. Output, I got an empty array. Am I not adding? Oh, whoops. Yeah, no, I'm not. So I don't know if y'all caught the mistake, but I have head and I don't have the a copy of it. So let's just do like copy head. So I'll go copy. Right, so if I do copy.next is equal to temp, copy is a copy.next. I only use head at the end. Okay, so that should be there. Okay, so that's the result we expected. Let's try submitting. Nice, looks like it works. So let's see. What do I need to go over again? Oh yeah, so like it's time complexities and all that. So let's try to calculate the time complexity. I'm going through each list. Okay, so these are constant operations, pretty quick. These are constant as well. So we have this while loop that iterates through both lists. That would be order of n, where n is the size of the list. So I guess if you want to be more clear about what the time complexity is, you could do something like, or you could say like order of m and n, where m is the size of list 1 and n is the size of list 2. And for space complexity, we are using the same nodes. We're not recreating anything. We're just redirecting the nodes. So I'm taking where is it? Oh wait, sorry. No, scratch that. I actually am creating a new node every time. So in terms of space complexity, it would be m plus n. And yeah, that's that. I wonder if, okay, maybe we can try to, like, this is not a bad point. Like, this is a working solution. I want to see if I can make it so that we're only using the same nodes. Cause yeah, I feel like I totally could. I don't think I actually even need that. I could even come in here, get rid of this one. We'll do, so copy is the one that I'm working with. Copy dot next. So oops, copy dot next is equal to list 1, so that'll be the node. And then I think we can do this here as well. List 2. And copy that next to the temp. So if I do copy that next, those are incremented as well. I think that works as well. Okay, yeah. So now I have a solution that doesn't use any extra space. I mean, we do create that doing list node, but that's constant, so we don't worry about that. So this was like a even better solution than before. Time complexity is the same, but the space complexity is constant. And yeah, that's the solution. If you have any suggestions, questions, comments, or you want me to go through a different problem, let me know. And if you like the video, feel free to like it or subscribe or whatever. And yeah, I will see you for the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.